Today we're in Road for the Northampton and District Model Railway Club's Exhibition 2023. There's plenty of layouts to see, so let's go take a look. First up is St Gennys, which is a 16mm foot narrow gauge layout. This scale is often chosen for garden railways, but this layout shows what can be bought indoors and used all year round. It's perfect for small live steam and or battery powered locomotives. The eagle-eyed viewers may have noticed a few cameos around the layout, including Anakin Skywalker and a Resistance pilot. Next, we move to Austria, and a challenge for my linguistic skills to see if I can pronounce Donnersbachkogel. I think that's how you say it. It is a freelance Austrian layout based in the pre-Alpine area. A single-track mainline station is also the terminus for a narrow gauge line which served a mine in the past. Today, it is used for tourists only. Here we see a short passenger train arriving at the mainline station, whilst a narrow gauge steam locomotive runs round its train. However, God had other ideas for this locomotive as it wasn't suitable for the journey, and you may see his hands reaching down and taking them away as the freight train departs the station.
Maintenance, we need to change. Now comes the moment when the people please go for security.
With the steam locomotive removed, a Class 2095 diesel locomotive now runs around the coaches to take the train back up the mountain. Run round complete, the locomotive departs with its train up the winding mountain road. As the train arrives at the station at the top of the mountain, we see a mine train taking visitors through the old mine itself. move on to another layout that was seen in the King show only this year, Oakgrove Central, which is a freelance, engaged layout. It is a freelance DCC layout constructed in 2mm scale and built with Kato and Pico track. It is controlled by an NCE power cab controller. The layout is continuous and features 4 running lines plus 2 running tram tracks.
It moved slightly over earlier on.
A Chiltern 168 departs the station, as in the other direction a Chiltern liveried Class 68 arrives on an unusual working of a fuel train.
The new ones, yeah. Are they?
That's gone round. It's gone round without instructions.
Next is a very rarely seen scale at exhibitions, Z-Gauge, the magic of the mountain. Why is it called the magic of the mountain? Well, you'll see in a second, because it caught me out. As the train thunders round and goes into the tunnel, you'd expect it to come out the other side, as I did. Magic.
Let's see, we're going for the one in Rockville.
The layout was built during lockdown and consists of the large mountain, a bridge and a running river, all in a very small space. That is the advantage of Z-Gauge.
Name it, it's there.
Next is Hampton Halt. The branch line Hampton Halt serves is a small village where it terminates with a runaround loop. As we travel up the line, a gardener is spending his time with the lot behind the engine shed. At the front of the engine shed, the workers are getting the coal ready for the next steam loco. Just ahead, on the rock faces, the local rock climbing team are busy enjoying themselves. Further on, we join the main line. All the track work is train line 45 supplied by Dentdale Junction, together with the rock climbers. The model buildings are from T&M models. The trees are by Sidings, together with the vegetables in the allotment. Here we can see that the Class 08 shunter has arrived for the small passenger working, and now the station staff are busy swapping the locos round, ready for the next departure.
I'll try and keep down here a bit.
We move to Carl of Tongue, or what I believe is Carl of Tongue. It could also be Kid Ross, which is an OO gauge layout. And here we see a Class 37 shunting some vans for the local distillery. The layout is only small, but seems to ooze plenty of action. It has the platform at the front and the sidings for shunting at the rear. There always seems to be something going on at this little station. With the vans drawn away from one siding, the 37 shunts them closer to the distillery, where it's more than likely going to be loaded with barrels by that forklift truck. With its work complete, 37116 leaves the area. The Bachmann Collectors Club were also at the show to demonstrate some of the delightful models they had for sale. Here we can see a double fairly moving a passenger train away from the station, before shortly afterwards we get to see Bachmann's newly announced model of Linda in Festinio blue. And I'll be honest, there's a good chance that that loco could end up on my 009 layout. Very good chance indeed. And finally we see a GWR Pacer arriving at the station below. Next is Hobbs Warren in O-gauge. The layout depicts the lines alongside a running shed somewhere on the east coast. The setting is any time between nationalisation and the end of steam. The layout is DCC. All locomotives are sound fitted. Some have smoke units and other functions installed. Here we see a V2-60903 arriving on the depot. There's a variety of other Eastern Region locomotives on shed, including the B1 Mayflower. It's not long before the V2 is moved again, as it departs its current road, heading towards the engine shed at the back of the layout. The layout may only be small, but there's a hive of activity going on here as locomotives come on and off the shed. I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank the owner, who ran the A4 Falcon, which we'll see a little later, for my boy at his request. That kept him very happy, and I must say that we spent a good 30 minutes watching this layout. Still managing to keep its LNER livery, V37677 departs the shed. And here's another little interesting thing about this layout that I suspected but wasn't sure until I got home and watched the videos back. The clock actually works. The next movement off shed is J72-69013 as it passes the siding and heads out towards the main line.
When it comes in, what are you smoking
And J72 had obviously made space for a celebrity to arrive on shed as 60800 V2, a Green Arrow, arrives into one of the sidings.
You think you're going to get it up over there, do you? Yeah. Just about. I've got the 40 in there, haven't I? So, yep. Still going. You wouldn't get...
The points are changed and Green Arrow heads into one of the sheds. Green Arrow in the shed, the J72 goes back onto its siding, whilst on another road, A3 Class 60072 in BR's Express Blue livery, Sunstar, arrives on the depot.
If they go cutting and cleaning, that will have everything. As they found when they came to bloody do it. They never learned.
Another express blue locomotive arrives on the depot, this time in the guise of A4 locomotive 60025 Falcon. Finally, the A3 departs the depot. We move on to a lovely little N-gauge layout called Warmsley, as we see a schools class running around its train. Warmsley was built during the COVID lockdowns of 2020 and 2021. It is set in the late steam and early diesel period on the southern region of BR, somewhere in the Kent or East Sussex border, with the inspiration being drawn from places such as Hawkhurst, Westerham, New Romney and the Kent and East Sussex Light Railway. Stock is mostly from Farish and Dapel, with a mixture of Southern Railway and BR standard steam loco types, plus some early diesels. As the schools class departs with its train, we pan out to get a better view of this terminus station. A short while later, an M7 on a push-pull working arrives at the station, setting down its passengers and picking up new ones before departing away on its next journey. Next, the layout I'm starting to become quite well acquainted with is Dentdale in N-gauge. Dentdale was inspired by the high-altitude moorland sections of the settled Carlisle Railway. The layout runs from the north entrance of the Bleakmore Tunnel, crosses the Den Head and Artengill viaducts and ends at Denton Station. The settled Carlisle line has changed little over the years and still boasts semaphore signalling and the original buildings, which is why Dentdale was perfect for running either a steam era or today's modern diesels. A Class 37 with brake tender runs over the viaduct with a coal train. It's not DCC sound fitted, that's the wonderful O-gauge Deltic that you can hear in the background. Who doesn't enjoy a good pub? This is Tumuli St James, a small N-gauge layout set somewhere in the West Country. The layout is a fictitious West Country seaside junction set in the mid-1960s to mid-1970s when the diesel hydraulic traction was at its zenith. The layout is operated by DCC and is a work in progress. This year, the Northampton Model Railway Club decided to demonstrate their O-gauge layout, Kingsthorpe. The layout consists of both a mainline and heritage line. It has been extensively upgraded to include DCC operation for both locomotive and points. Here we see a Class 40 making its way from one end of the layout to the shed at the other end. You may also notice there's a few dinosaurs lying around on this layout, a little something for the children to spot, which helps to keep them entertained. Of course, we like to be diverse and inclusive these days, so you don't have to be a child to spot the dinosaurs. You can be a fully grown adult. No one's stopping you. Except my footage. I don't have every dinosaur on here, I'm pretty sure of that.
Alright, where does that live?
Well, it's beyond there. It's
That was yours.
It's not mine, it's Tim's.
Oh, Tim's, right.
Class 40 arrives at the shed as God himself gets his hands dirty with a little bit of shunter's work as he attaches the coupling to the Class 45 in the background. Over at the station, the Class 101 DMU arrives at the platforms. Whilst on the heritage line, the Terrier moves around. Now, if spotting dinosaurs is not your thing, then there's plenty of witches and wizards to find. Some very famous ones, actually. Probably given away by the fact that the Hogwarts Express has arrived. There's Harry, Hermione, and the Malfoys all to spot. And that amazing flying forward angler is somewhere on this layout too. Just because Hornby have decided to bring TT Gauge back to Britain doesn't necessarily mean you have to model British, as demonstrated here in Sorrento Park. It's a lovely American TT Gauge layout. Sorrento Park is a North American industrial switching layout in TT120 scale. It uses the recently introduced Pico TT scale track and turnouts. Stock and locos are mostly ready to run from European suppliers, while the building is a scratch build. All locos are DCC fitted. Sound is produced by two under baseboard decoder equipped speakers. Here we see a Sioux line switcher arranging wagons in the yard. Our final layout is Denton Sidings in O gauge. This new O-gauge lamp represents a small country goods yard on what was originally a through line, somewhere in the Midlands. It is not modelled on a specific location, the name being derived from the owner's home village in Northamptonshire. Of course, it wouldn't be one of my videos without some footage from the boy, so here's the Ginty departing with some vans. The sidings aim to serve a company called BGK Limited, which is the main works on the layout. It's, however, shrouded in mystery, as no one is really sure what is made there.
Another reason I lost interest straight away, they're going back to what normal Triang used to do.
You know, if you've done a standard, then it doesn't matter what companies.
And so the terrier departs with some vans over the level crossing, as a woman in the pub garden seems to be doing some rather naughty behaviour. I think we'll leave it there. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, then please click the like button. If you want to see more, then click that subscribe button, and hopefully I will see you again next time. Thanks for watching.